Hey, everybody. Oh my gosh, you guys. Yes, it's me and Dr. Carol. And we have something that we want to bring to you that we are pretty excited about. Guess what? We are going to do a Mysterion refresh. You guys, there's been so many of you that have said something to me about, hey, or I've heard these sound bites about financial stuff or Mysterion or the Ledger of Righteousness and all of that. And so guess what we're going to do? We're going to come back and we're going to do a Mysterion 5-week challenge. And Dr. Carol's here because she's going to lead one of those 5 weeks. Now, we know that a lot of you guys, a lot of you coaches out there went through Mysterion and you know how fabulous this is. And so the thing that I want to point out to you is that we need to spread the gospel and share the Mysterion, this event, this Mysterion 5-week challenge. We need you to share it with people that are, in your sphere, people that you want to invite in to learn more about Mysterion, learn more about WOW, learn about this revelation. I mean, this amazing revelation that Kirby, has. Why wouldn't we want to share this with other people? So many of you guys know who Dr. Carol is. She's a sign and wonder. Yep, she is. Well, okay, so I want to ask you, Dr. Carol, about why Mysterion is so important to you, and why is it a big thing to you? And we know that it's a big thing to you. Why do I know that? And maybe many of you guys don't know this, but Dr. Carol she wrote a book, workbook, leader's guide. She put this whole thing together. I mean, she took it one step further than many of us have taken it. And so, Dr. Carol, yeah, tell us a little bit about, the book, the workbook, the leader's guide, all of that. And I mean, and your why Mysterion was so important to you that you stepped into doing that.
Thanks for the opportunity to tell you about it, because it really does mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
The part that I enjoyed the most, if I could say, or maybe had the most impact on me, was to go back through my life and look at the financial decisions that I made.
Oh.
And repent for some of them and just rejoice in others. But I did go back and I did make amends with the way that Mysterion brought it to the forefront.
Yes.
And when that happened, a lot of things in my life, especially financially, cleared up. And I was so blessed. But what really got me was I heard Kirby say in one of the teachings that he was hoping that somebody would like to, at some point, start teaching Mysterion, that others would come alongside of him and share this amazing concept with other people. And so I contacted Rose, didn't I, Rose?
Yeah, yeah.
And said, well, who's doing your training materials? And she said I could. So I did. And so we're so excited to be able to do this review. The book that we created, the basic handbook, is the teaching that Kirby did. And we've broken it down into a teacher's workbook and a student workbook. And so those of you who attend the meeting will have an ebook that you can download. And at least I think we're going to have that available. I'm really not sure at this time. I apologize for that. But we've got the ability for you now to take this another step further yourself and to be able to look at it and say, okay, am I still following the tenets that Kirby has set before us? And am I still doing my finances according to scripture? So I'm really excited that that WOWLife is going to be doing the Mysterion overview, the Mysterion challenge. I love that. And so I'm looking forward to being part of it. And Rosa, thank you for that.
Oh my gosh, thank you. And how great is it to be doing this and opening this up to the globe? And right before tax season, really? We're going to get our mindset and in a right place right before tax season. And just so that, I come back and say this again, you guys, this is going to be a free 5-week challenge. And so you'll need to sign up. We are going to have some giveaways along the way for, of course, we're going to need your help with some things. There's going to be some little contests in there. And then, Dr. Carol's materials are going to be available as well. Now we're going to have links out there. You can purchase Dr. Carol's materials. And it goes back to WOWLife Media Productions, because Carol has been gracious to do this work, but give the rights back to WOWLife, and then WOWLife Media Productions, and then they will reap the rewards of and the seed that Dr. Carol has sown into WOWLife. So thank you, Dr. Carol. And now we're going to hear from the rest of the crew that's going to be leading all of us through this Mysterion 5-week challenge. So here we go. So the rest of you guys, yeah, here we go. Let's hear from you too.
Well, I mean, one of my whys is revisiting this teaching again to bring another level of grounding, measuring, and higher resolution of currency, and also dealing with the spirit of lack in my life, and also to generate and equalize my heart back into righteousness with the flow of the kingdom elements.
Oh my gosh, equalize that heart and let the cash flow. Okay, who's going next?
So my why is because, as Shonda said, I want to also do the refresher and really get back to that mindset, because sometimes we get so busy, we forget the tools that Kirby has taught us, that when I go back and I remember when I went through Mysterion, how life-changing it was for me. And so I'm excited to do this again and to get ready for financial flow coming in March.
Yeah, that's so true. So true. Yeah. Liz, you want to go?
Yeah, well, I'd like to hijack some of this good stuff for Australia.
Yes.
The financial flow is going to be held in USA. So, but finances are a really big deal, and particularly when you're in trouble or when something hits, it's a real big deal. And to think about the being in flow with this, or being reconciled, and the whole world of finances, that whole the energy of finances being the energies of finances, being aligned and that sort of thing is that's quite like, what do you do? How do you deal with that? How do I deal with myself and that? And since I did Mysterion, justice and righteousness has come into it's become kind of my lens. And I'm not going to preempt what Mysterion is about, but it's like the tool we used is stuck in my brain. I don't remember, at this moment, I don't remember all the detail, but I remember the tool, and I would love to review it myself and refresh, because I think 2024 is going to be perhaps not, there's going to be some things probably happen that are outside our expectations. And I don't want to be falling or crashing into anything. I want to be have my heart right and that. And so I'm really excited about that. And I think, and I just love the idea of people who have never heard anything like this before. Just love the idea of them being able to see something. Oh, this is different. This is, wow, I could deal with this, and just have a whole way of, and I think it's very attractive.
Right.
It's very attractive.
Yes.
A whole way of rethinking our lives. Yeah.
For sure. And, speaking to that, and Messina, we're going to need to hear from you next, but rethinking just the way we think about our finances, and just the way we think about the currency and just all of that. It'll be really, really good. Okay, Messina, you go.
Okay. So originally when I went through Mysterion, I feel like it aligned with where I was already going with, mindset towards finances, but I still feel like I just dipped my toe in at that time, and just started really getting into the base layer of what that mindset shift and looking at it in the flow, how Kirby taught in Mysterion, that, you know, I was still just like surface level on it, because at the time I think that was maybe all I could handle. And so now I've you know, gone through that. It's been a couple of years and I feel like I've gotten a little bit stagnant in it. And so I'm wanting to do this again to fully immerse. And then also knowing that there's something in me, again, having already been kind of in the flow at the time and knowing that that just kind of went alongside, it's like there's more there. So whatever, as I immerse myself in it to refresh and go through it again, I know that more is just going to come out for me to, you know, share and hopefully help. Because again, I know my mindset shifted a lot in that time frame. And that's the biggest part of it, just shifting that to align with how we should really be looking at finances and how they flow.
Yeah, that's so good. So good. And, you know, I mean, I've gone through it again. And every time you go through it, it's like you take another step up, you know, in your level of revelation. And whenever I hear people talking about challenges in their finances or whatever, I'm like, oh, you've got to listen to this Mysterion teaching. You've got to, and then I send them the link to Mysterion, or the, like you were talking about, Liz, with the ledger of righteousness. You guys, it's a real deal. This is technology that we have not been taught. And, you know, those of us that subscribe to Christianity and we subscribe to the Bible and, you know, learning from the Bible, you know, we've not been taught this information and until now. And so it was so packed, chock full of information to change the way we think about things, that you do have to go back and you do have to refresh, because Shonda, I think you said it, like hearing it all over again. There were so many things that you're like, oh, that was in there. I missed that the first time. So I'm really, really excited about you guys doing this. We're going to be starting really soon, so keep watching. And then the other thing that I want to say to you wowers out there, you know who you are. You guys need to be sharing this with people that are either in your families or your friends. You might even consider having like a watch party, inviting people over to your house on Sunday night for an hour and a half and hop on this Zoom with us as we go through this, because this is truly spreading the gospel. So anyway, you guys, more to come, but we just wanted to start to share this information with you, and we'll send out the invite link and all of that coming soon.